So my children don't have to deal with this anger. Especially in the world that we live in now. It's very, very triggering. I mean, literally just taking a step outside is triggering. Because you can just see something that's unnatural. When people like that, you know what I'm saying? When you can see something that's unnatural, you just say that. And when that occurs, I want to be in a space and in a place on my healing journey where I'm not looking to act out whatever I'm feeling, and the repercussions be something that I will regret in the future. I want to live a life without regret. And I can say that.
Say that again, cuz.
I want to live a life without regret.
Hard work plus patience to some more of my sacrifice. I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication. Look. I spent my whole life thinking out the box, boxing.
Peace, family. Welcome to another edition of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. We're the #1 podcast for individuals seeking to end generational dysfunction. What's good, cuz?
Man, cuz, man, living this life, man. Practicing what I preach. Can I get an amen?
I say.
Amen.
I give you
know
I
what I
say.
mean, cuz, man. Hey, you can give me an amen and still be talking spirituality.
Absolutely.
You know who amen is. You know what I mean? But, make a long story short, man, that's a whole nother podcast, man. But nah, man, I've been chilling, man. I've been like I said, I've been practicing what I've been preaching, man. So, lately, man, you know, like I said earlier, if you've been following the podcast, man, sometimes a man crosses a line where a man can never come back. And that was my father, man, when he did that to my sister. But I've been trying to get cool with his father, which is my grandfather. You know, me and him never was cool. A couple years ago, I bumped into him because, you know, I'm gonna be 100, you know what I mean? I'm not a big labeling guy. I'm a big people come who they are. So, you know what I mean? So I really didn't know him as grandpa. Tip is my papa. That'd be my papa. So it was hard for me to call anybody else that, you know what I mean? Especially after you transition. But, yeah, you know what I mean? Because that's been my papa. I ain't never called nobody. That's my papa, but so I saw him at saying all that. When I saw him, damn, cuz I don't know why. I saw him at look at see, family, man, that's family, man, family, cuz, family, man. See, that's my family, man. Y'all know nothing, but that's lineage right there, man.
Hydration away, man. I'm gonna be drinking that. I love them, though.
Hey, man, cuz no, you know my situation. You know why I gotta drink every 5 seconds, man. You know, I'm gonna keep it 100 with them. People under, you know, still my tooth with them, still getting that all figured out. But still, anyway. But like I said, I bumped into him at White Castle, right? And that being said, I bumped into him and I was like, hey, because I really haven't saw him since I was an adolescent, since I was a child. So I'm looking at him, I'm like, dang, he looked like my grandpa. And my wife seen pictures of him, and she's like, you don't him? She said, dude look like him. And then she looked at his eyes. She said, yeah, because my grandpa always said, me and him got the same exact eyes. Look like we sleepwalking everywhere. And she like, yeah. She said, yeah, y'all got the same eyes. I said, hey, Albert, because that's his name. His name is Albert Shumpert, Sr. West Easy to Albert Jr. But he turned around. He looked at me. I said, Grandpa. Cause I had to make sure it was him first. I wasn't about to go to no dude. But, hey, what's up, Grandpa? And it wasn't him. I was like, Albert, like, yeah. I said, man. I said, you know who I am? He looked at me. Yeah, I know who you are. I said, man, I barely know who you was. Cause no, that's how I talk. I don't be caring. I be letting people know how I feel. I said, I barely knew who you was. That's why I called you Albert. Hey, so we just in there chatting it up, man, and I figured out that he liked bowling, and you know, we was just cool. But you know, I got his number, but we never really chatted it up after that. To be 100, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We never really got that connection. But now as I'm getting older, and you know, like I say, I always build. I build that. I'm not tripping that. I don't know the relationship him and my father had. I ain't tripping about all that. I'm just here to rebuild it. I'm just here to lead my lineage. And that being said, I have to fill this void, like you said a couple episodes of not knowing my father, my grandfather. I gotta ask some questions so I can get to know who myself is. I gotta ask them, hey, who your parents were? Where they come from? All of that. So I'm about to start kicking it with my grandpa, bro. Me and him, you know, we got a couple things. I don't know what we got in common, but I know we got something in common. Shit. We both got these eyes, so I don't know, we got something in common, man. And man, so that's what I've been doing before you even ask. Buddy, Fred. Hey, bro, where you get that outfit from? Outfit, bro? Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I got it at TopTagCrew.com. You know, the original people in the Eve gene, they represent melanation across the globe, bro. Go to the website, get you the outfit.
I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, or I could do this.
Asking me how I'm leading my lineage today. Normally I'd be asking that question. Today I dropped the bomb. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So, but yeah, cuz I'm working on that, working with the relationship with my grandpa, with the man, period, in my life. I always had issues with man, so why not start off with my grandpa? Why not start off with my cousin? So, you feel me?
Yeah, I love that for you, because being able to have that moment where you can be present, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be tough to catch up for lost times. It's gonna be extremely tough.
I ain't been trying to catch up on those times.
I'm glad you're here too. I'm glad you're in this place.
I want to get to know him. I want to get to know him, who he is. I want to let him know who I am. Shit, whatever happened, bro, what happened, bro? We here right now. You know what I mean?
Say that.
Hey, cause if it, like I said, I have MVPs, bro. MVPs. If it wasn't for that, I would have did that with my father too. But like I said, man, sometimes people cross their red line, and that red line, I got MVPs, morals, values, and principles for people who just now getting on the game and hip to how, you know, how I use my vocabulary. That's the MVPs to me. But I would be doing that with my father. I would be doing that with everybody. But yes, I'm doing that with my grandpa, bro. And whatever happened in the past is the past. Let's get over that. Let's not judge each other. Don't come to me all, hey man, don't be doing this, don't be doing that. I'm not gonna come to you like, hey, you should have been doing this. Nah, man. We not coming to throw blows. We not coming to relieve all this pain we had on the inside, to hurt and give out. That's what a lot of us do. We want to see the other. We want to see, oh, when I see this person, I'm gonna let them know. I'm gonna let them have it. I'm gonna give them this pain that I feel inside. I'm gonna pour it all on them. And as I'm getting higher in knowledge, higher in time and vibrating in this body, I'm learning that you can't do that. You can't put that energy out. Because the energy you give, the energy is you receive. And it's old, bro, that's old. What goes up must come down. How many times people, grandma told you that? How many times your grandma told you that? That's long. So you want to give out that pain and hurt. Only thing that's gonna do is that person that you giving out that energy, they gonna what? Give out pain and hurt. Y'all trying to fix it, bro. So you come up to them and you come up with some, okay, I do want to get this off my chest. You know, probably say, you know, this is how it made me feel. But don't come and throw daggers. Don't be like, man, you should have been there. No, you should come there. If you feel like a person should have been there, you should come there and be like, man, yeah, it did hurt for me growing up with no grandfather. I had to work without that. And I'm not going to come to my grandfather like this. I'm just saying, because I'm over it. I'm just saying for people who are at that stage. Because I've been through this, so that's why I'm over it. And, you know, so it's easy for me to do this with my grandpa. But when I was at that stage, that's how I do it. I come to him like, hey, grandpa, you know, you wasn't there for me, really messed me up, man. As long as you lied, it made me feel, et cetera, et cetera. When I felt like you could have been doing this, may I ask why you wasn't there? Can you give me you don't have to give me a solution. I just want to know what you was thinking at that mind frame. Because we always got to ask people, what was you thinking at that mind frame? What was you doing, man? That you know, you don't got to say, just ask me that. Don't say it like that. Don't say, what was you doing that you couldn't be here for me? Ask them, what was you doing at that moment in life? How was your mind thinking? Don't say it like that. You don't have to come and throw daggers. I took, you know, I'm keeping 100 on here, man. I learned this. Hey, I learned this one especially because when I was in my younger days, I was assigned to a couple classes, et cetera, you know. That's one thing I learned because, man, it's just the way you talk. You can get the answer out of people without stabbing. Just reframe your answer. Instead of saying why you wasn't here, ask them what was you doing at the time. Hey, your mind frame, what was you doing at that time? How was your thinking? What was your settings? What was you going through? Ask them that. And then don't leave the part, you can say it to yourself if you want to. Say it to yourself if you want to. But leave the part where you add yourself back into the equation. Let them sit on it and let them ponder and let them give you what they was thinking and their perspective. Because now they go, and then low key, bro, low key, you make people, you putting pressure on people like that too. Now they about to have to look at themselves instead of have to defend. Now they gotta look. Don't make people defend. Make people look in the mirror. Go up to people with a mirror and be like, whoop whoop. And you'll get more of an answer to the problem that you want there than going up to them and make a person defend. If I come up to you giving you blows, boom, 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 I'm not gonna learn nothing about you after I hit you in your jaw except for how your right hook feels. You know what I mean? That's it.
Oh man, that's good.
You know?
That's good. Man.
For real though, if I come up to you with a mirror and hit you with it, that person gonna be like, oh shoot. What they gonna do? The first thing they do is correct themselves. You know? Just think about it. First thing you do when you wake up, what you do?
That's powerful, cuz. Thank you for sharing that too. That's powerful and that's deep. I think a lot of people will get a lot of value from what you just shared with us on this podcast because it's a lot of hurt that we hold on to. And I just came to the realization the other day for myself, like I really have some anger within myself I need to process. So, for example, I was in an environment where there was a specific situation where I was triggered based on what I was exposed to. Like from past conversations, how people dealt with these different scenarios, things of that nature. So when I was in that environment, I was triggered. Because I know how that environment treated some people that I love. Or I love. You know what I'm saying? So whenever that instance happens, I'm like, okay, I'm a little uncomfortable in this situation. And I get uncomfortable and I get angry that I'm uncomfortable. So I'm asking myself, why is that my first emotion? when I have to adapt in an environment, why is anger my first emotion? So that's what I'm like processing through now. And like, for example, a couple years ago, Kobe and I were at a grocery store, and a guy, his transaction didn't go through for his groceries, so he was upset. The cart that had the groceries in it, he swung it around, like he was getting it away from him, like aggressively, just like, just pushed it, right? And ended up hitting Kobe. And she saw it coming, so I was pushing the car, and she was on the side of the car. She saw it coming, so she was able to like stop it from being like full force and like, put her hand out and still hit it. I was angry because like it like and this is where my question comes in there now. It's like, okay, like it would have been somebody I truly love or in love with. I think I would still react that way. Yeah. But even though anger was my first emotion, in that instance, I wasn't able to put the logic with that. So say for instance, if the guy had a weapon, right? And him and I would have got into it, like now either we're both in jail, we're both in the hospital, or we're both dead. For something that could have been resolved. Like she's not bruised, she's not injured. She's shocked. She's in shock. It's like, oh, this strange thing just happened to me. I'm like, oh, what's going on? If I would have reacted in a way where I would have acted on that anger in an aggressive manner, we probably wouldn't have this podcast today. There wouldn't be no Lead Your Lineage.
This is from experience, with when I figured out with my overprotection. I got two questions. First question is, three now. First one is, did something in your life happen? Any trauma in your life happen, or was it a point of something happening in your life where anger you had that you probably tried to use everything else, but at that time anger was the only thing that helped you win that solution? Something happened, trauma. Or the second question is it your ancestors? Is it something that happened in their life?
It's definitely my ancestors. I know that for a fact.
Third question is, or is it something that happened in your past? Those are my two questions. Is it something that happened in your life that traumatized you where you had to use anger and aggression?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you gotta go look at it. Like, what is it?
I mean, honestly, sports. Like sports, playing football. I had to be aggressive. You know what I'm saying?
But anger, you have to be angry. Where did the anger come from? That's what I'm saying. So
that's where the ancestors come in. That I know I'm dealing with some anger that I personally didn't go through. I know I'm dealing with that.
He said, "Cause I ain't gonna do no."
Like for me to be that angry in that instance, I know it's something that I haven't personally experienced in this body.
From what you've been telling us this here on your, and I ain't trying
right.
From what you've been telling us, man.
Yeah.
You said your pops had a lot of anger, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So like in that instance, my ancestors definitely my father. In terms of being aggressive, being like the first thing that I'm acting on is physical. Like I'm ready to fight this dude. It's whatever. Cause you put my woman in a predicament, and I gotta make sure she's protected and she feels safe and secure. So it's whatever. Looking back on it, it's like, that ain't the movie, bro. That ain't the movie. It ain't no eye for eye moment. It ain't no, like, she's okay. You're okay. He's okay. All right, let's move on. Let that go. And what really got me, let me tell before I get into that. Past lives, I'm getting into that myself. I'm not even gonna speak on that because I really haven't.
I don't know what to ask you, cuz I'm just asking.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate the question. I'm not even gonna dive into that because I'm still getting into that myself. So I'm not. I really don't even have the answer I can even articulate at this point to keep it a bucket.
Okay.
On past lives. But that's definitely a possibility. Like, I know it's a possibility. I know it's a thing. You know what I'm saying? So in that aspect, when I had that incident at the store, right, it took me so long to calm down.
What are you calling?
It took me so long to calm down. Cause when I called you, how did I sound? How did I sound?
Well, you already quiet. But so when you get angry, you get quieter. The only thing you say is cuz. I'm like, man, what the hell going on? Cuz, man, tell me, man. Cause I'm like, man, something going on. Man, you know, and then you tell me what happened. You said, man, I said, yeah, cuz angry. Cause you never a person lost for words. You always got something, you know what I mean, to say. But shit, when you got mad, I could tell you was mad. You know, I could definitely feel it over the phone. You know, man, I'm ready to fight. That's all you said. I'm ready to fight. I said, like I said, bro, you gonna go to jail. Your ass going straight to jail. And what I tell you, and I ain't got no bond money to buy you out, so you stay here. It ain't that I don't love you. I just can't help you out.
Nah, it's real though.
But no, cuz, man, for real though, for real. And this is another one though, right? I got another question. How you gonna fix that? And okay, before you answer that, let me help you out with this. That being said, for instance, you said, you remember that happened, okay? That incident you just said what happened at the grocery store. Mm-hmm. Okay, around 2019, early 2019, late 2018, I was working, this when I was working at Amazon, and I was the supervisor. So I had to go out that day. Somebody called off or something like that. I'm out, I forgot why this white man, he got mad at me. I don't really remember the incident, man, but he got mad at me. Something happened. Oh, man, that's what happened. Okay, so some kids was riding their bikes in the middle of the streets, right? And I'm just, I'm at work, I'm letting them drive, this dude blowing his horn at me. I'm like, who is this dude? And the parents was right there too. They're like, who is this dude? He come shooting by. He didn't see them because the Amazon truck is so big. He go boom. And they're like, oh, shoot, what the heck going on? So I drive, he's sitting there waiting. He said, you idiot, and said, went off on me. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, man, I ain't worried about him. So I get out the car. This dude, he pulls up to the house where I'm at in the driveway talking fast. But in my mind, I'm already reinformed at that time. I already know what happens to me. The year 2017, I just got done beating the kids. I said, this is my last things I'm gonna ever do. So I'm already in the process of learning life. I'm like, man, I ain't about to go with this dude. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't hit him. I'm gonna tell you why. So I go to the car. I said, hey, bro, calm me. You probably won't believe me. I said, man, you're doing a lot of talking. You don't know me. I don't know you. I said, this can go this can go there. We both ways, bro. I said, we both win. Let's walk away. Let's be better. I said, man, let's not do this. I said, man, we're supposed to be American, quote unquote. Walk away, bro. I'm about to go, let me work. And I walked away and I got in my truck, I called my supervisor, and I told him what was going on. The dude followed me to like 3 houses, bro, yelling. He didn't provoke me to do nothing, bro. I got back in my car and just kept working on people like that. You know why I did that, cuz? Because I learned a long time ago. When you're a warrior, like we are, you always get the shortest end of the stick. He could have provoked to that, cuz. And this is from knowledge. I'm not even bragging. I've been through a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? I done got in a lot of fights. I knew I would have broke his nose. You know what I mean? I know that he was doing all this talking. And he had a little gun right there. He don't know that I'm already peeping this. I've been through the streets, bro. I'm already knowing what to do to you, bro. You know what I mean? I could have just, because I was in your car, I could have been just grabbed you when I was talking to him. But when I was talking to him, I linked in his car and talked to him. You know, I got on his thing like that, so I could have been there with that. But the fact that I know he don't know, and I know where this is gonna go, made me walk away. Because I've been there before. Every time something happened to me, like I said, I was fighting babies all the time. Every time something happened to me, most times, believe it or not, my grandma don't believe it. She think I was the bully. I was defending somebody, or I was stopping something going on, or something like that. Or somebody thought it was sweet and it wasn't. For real. And I got the police called on me, and I got in trouble. Or you know, and somebody will start a fight over there, and I finish the fight. Next thing you know, the police on me beat me. See, why haven't you got police before? That's a whole other story. Real. That's how I initially broke my heart to be honest. But that's a whole other story. They beat me. That's a whole other story. So my point, I went through too much stuff like that to know where this shit gon' go. You know what I mean? So you gotta look at it, cuz. Well, that's why I'm glad you didn't do nothing. I'm glad you walked away, man. So that's why I was asking, man. So knowing that you got this anger and you got this aggression in you, what I was asking, saying all that is that's how I fix mine. How you gonna fix yours? That's how you gonna fix this anger and this aggression that you got built in you. How you gonna do that? What you gonna do for that?
Great question. So with me knowing that this comes from, this is like genetic.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, like the first response is to act out the anger. And what I'm doing is changing my genetics. Changing my genetics. I'm changing the way I perceive life. I'm changing my perspective. I'm changing my relationships with other people. I'm just doing a 180-degree change. So my children don't have to deal with this anger. Especially in the world that we live in now. It's very, very triggering. Literally just taking a step outside is triggering. Because you can just see something that's unnatural. And when people like that, you know what I'm saying? When you can see something that's unnatural, you just say that. And when that occurs, I want to be in a space and in a place on my healing journey where I'm not looking to act out whatever I'm feeling and the repercussions be something that I will regret in the future. I want to live a life without regret. And I can say that.
Say that again, cuz.
I want to live a life without regret. I don't want any regret in my life. And when I look at my life and I look at the lives of people around me, specifically my parents, right?
Yeah.
I can definitely say that there's some things that weren't specifically dealt with, meaning that it was suppressed, it was just buried inside. And I know I'm personally a barrier, because I get that from both of my parents. I'll bury how I feel and all these things that add up, and then in that moment that happened a couple of years ago, it'll come out, or it wants to come out. So it's like, oh, it's the perfect time to express this. When it's really the worst time to express it, because the consequences are crazy. And the consequences don't amount to that millisecond of anger that you're feeling. It ain't worth it. It's just not. So being able to transmute this energy into, like this anger into something else that is healthy, that's my mission. So that's changing my genetic makeup. So that's being able to identify the things I put into my body to help me with that. So really getting into the science of what I put into my body. I'm just talking about food. I'm talking about from a holistic perspective. And that's what I'm on. That's how I'm changing my thing.
So you want to be angry and aggressive.
Absolutely. Like I don't want to be an incredible Hulk. I want to be Bruce Banner. Just use that analogy.
That Incredible Hulk is actually, you know, I use that.
Yeah, you said that before. Yeah, on podcast too.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I believe so, yeah. Or it might have been in the conversation, I don't know.
Yeah, man, that's just, you don't want to be out. I think I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cuz, man. Yeah, I used to tell my son that's a good thing to be working on it though, man. I'm glad, man, because it's important, man. Like you said, we have kids, you know, kids be doing all that, and, you know, going through stuff and shit. At the same time, like I always tell you, man, your kids gonna go through something. You come through this world to go through something. And you gonna help your kids out. And you knowing that you already helping them out, that helps me. That lets me know that you gonna help them out. Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, and you know, another thing I want to talk about is that you know, that anger. A lot of people don't know, because I was dealing with that depression. Like I said a couple of episodes ago, I was dealing with that depression. I didn't know where it was coming from. I started learning, doing more research. I'm like, okay, this happens to a lot of black people, and that's because of our ancestors. I'm not too far from slavery. Like I told you, we not, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. So how I worked on it was, say affirmations. That's how you really change your DNA. This is studies show that you change our bodies is made out of water. Water moves through vibration. Water moves through vibration. Water is vibration, meaning that if you keep saying it, it's gonna happen. That meaning that if I keep doing the same vibration, memory holds water, right? Memory is soft to vibration. Water holds memory. Water holds memory, right? And it's sensitive to vibration, right? So so I'm making that same frequency every time in my body, and my body's changing the DNA. That's one way I got through. I said, no, I'm not about to keep going to my ancestors. And another one is knowing that it was coming through my ancestors, knowing that it was like, man, everything is going right. Knowing that I've been through depressions multiple times in my life. I just didn't know it was depression at that time. So now I did know that. So it all fit in. And that's what I did. I worked on myself. Yeah. I'm just letting you know, man, how to work on that, man. Sometimes we be our ancestors. We gotta really work on affirmations. We gotta work out. We gotta get ourselves mentally together. It's a mental game. We gotta pay attention to what's going on. We gotta be more deep-oriented detailing. We can't be so far and so into our heads. Sometimes when you laying down, I know I'm always using the house, but this is because that's what I see. When you lay in that house, sometimes you gotta get out your head. Sometimes I actually look at reality. And just calm down and look like, dang, I did take this land for nothing and build something that I'm working on. It's a mental game. Mental means that when you're not making, mental means that let me give an example. When for instance, man, when you're working so hard on your business and everything is trying to go right, but problems with your family, like me, for instance. I bet a lot of things going right with me. I'm having issues with my family, my daughter. I want my daughter and my mama to have a better relationship. They'll, you know, and my son, my kids and her grandma. You know, my wife, her parents, you know, they was, you know, she got sexually abused when she was in the adolescent. So they definitely out the boat of being around my kids, and her father did. So so her mother's definitely out the boat watching the kids, and a lot of people in her side of the family. So we only got really her auntie, and her auntie live a whole 2-3 hours away. By the time we get over there, we gonna come back and do what we gotta do. It's time to go pick up the kids. You know, and cause you be moving and grooving with me. You feel me? So So working on that, working on issues with that, working on with my then that put on the time with me and my wife. Me and my wife are so used to spending time with each other. We've been spending time with each other since 7th grade. Now we working on this and we're working on how to deal with the kids all day. That gets overwhelming. Being with my kids 24/7 is overwhelming. Yeah, I'm a great daddy. Yeah, my kids love me. But when you don't get a break, you fuck, I'm tired. it be 9 a.m. just waking up and you don't be in the mood to do nothing. I still got to teach my kids. Why? Because this is the life that I dreamed of. This is the life that I chose. It's a mental game. It's a mental game. I still get it when I teach my daughter. When I teach her, I make sure I don't be angry for that. You know, and how do I do that? I do my rituals. However you do your rituals. You know, probably do a little couple push-ups and all that. You know, before I do it. You know, I let her have a little 10, 20 minutes spare time. Let me get my mind together. Let's eat. Let's do this. Let's do that. And a lot of people don't know that this is when you homeschool and everything is homeschooling. I told myself, I said, I don't have to go by these. They teach your kids how to be a worker. So I don't have to wake up, make my daughter work. They only have these many hours. I can wake up today and we can have fun for the first couple hours. Then before it's time to go to bed, we have school. This is our life. We run time. I'm teaching my daughter how to run her time. I'm not teaching her how to be on time. Why be on time when it's my time? The world don't revolve around you. However, we all are gods. We all make our own reality.
Right.
So in a sense, the world doesn't revolve around you. Your world, they lie. They some sense to the truth to them. You know why? Because my world does revolve around you. Your world does revolve around you. The problem is, Sean's world don't revolve around me though. Ron's world don't revolve around you. That's the problem. People don't know that. But the world do revolve around me. And the world do revolve around me. Yes, sir.
That's a great point. That's a great points. Not just one point, great points. So I that you brought that to the table, cuz I appreciate you for sharing that perspective. And
it's a mental game. You gotta. When I come to my grandpa, me knowing that, you going up, like I said earlier, me coming up to him, to my grandpa, that's a mental game. You being able to name aggression and anger as your points that you need to work on is a what? Cause you mentally realize that is a
absolutely
game.
And I would say this too, to add to that. One of the things that I'm being more intentional about is breathing. Because for real, being way more intentional about breathing. I'm able to.
What almost came on my nose.
Water sign almost drowned. This podcast into the headline. Water sign almost drowned. So leave the thing in this podcast. Well, being more intentional about breathing. And, that's how I come back to center. So I come back to myself. And being able to breathe, take a deep breath in. And like, okay. And as I become more intentional and get better at breathing, it'll decrease the amount of time it takes me to get back to myself. Like when that incident happened a couple of years ago, it took me a good 30, 45 minutes to really get back to myself. I was so heated. I was so heated. And now with a bigger emphasis on breathing properly, I'm like, okay, you breathe in, breathe out, and you count to X amount of numbers, and you say the ABCs or whatever, and you go write something. I have different practices I can integrate into my life intentionally. It's not going to interrupt my day per se. I don't have to. Say for instance, this happens again, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to go out of my way to. Oh my God, I'm angry. Right, say I'm at the store. And I live on the other side of town, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I can't do nothing. I gotta go home and write in my journal. I can just shake it off and process it and living my day. Like in the wild, right? Animals, you go into the jungle, you go into the fields, into the swamp. Let's use crocodiles for an example. Animals are literally going to a drink yard. They'll get some water. They gotta look out for crocodiles and alligators and stuff. But it's like, yo, they might get like, they know going into it like, hey, something might happen. They may not see this crocodile attempt to attack me, but that thing might attempt to attack me. I get away. That's traumatic. I don't think a gazelle is gonna be happy for getting attacked by a crocodile. Like, I just came to drink some water, big dog. Like, I eat me, bro. What we doing, y'all? Y'all see? I don't think that triggers happiness. No, this is just saying. So I'm just gonna universally say I feel that anger that gazelle has, right? But that gazelle got away. That triggers happiness. But in that instance, what do they do to get back to happiness? From my perspective, they express gratitude. They shake it off. They shake it off, right?
They do.
They move on about that. They move on.
They really do though. Like they really do a little. They're like, whew.
So like my thing for the people, so I'm practical. Like when you go through that traumatic situation where you may be triggered in a negative way. Like my negative way is anger. Somebody else, it might be something different for somebody else, right? You gotta find what you can use to shake off whatever that trauma is to get back to yourself. So that's what I want to leave with our people today. Make sure you find that something that you can leave and get back to yourself. You can leave whatever you're going through there. Shake that thing out and get back to yourself.
Shake it off.
It's important. It's important.
You know what I got out there listening to? We don't kill you, make you stronger, man. You feel me? Because you need that water. You need that water. If you're going to be scared, that gazelle don't be scared to go drink no water again. It may be cautious, but it don't be scared. It be cautious, but it doesn't be scared. It's aware. Now it's wise. Now it knows okay, I remember last time the water was this thick and I couldn't see nobody. Let me go on this side of the water of the lake. Let me walk part of the water of the lake down until it get cleared up.
That's real. That's real talk though. Like, man, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I like that now.
I appreciate that. You got anything else to add to the bill, man?
Man, cuz, man.
You want to close it out? How you feeling?
Yeah, we can close it out, man. I got something to add, man. For real, cuz, remember, one thing I want our people to do is the men and the women, black men and women, we gotta remember we gotta make families. I keep saying this again. So that means we gotta stop pointing the finger at each other and hold ourselves responsible. Black men and women, let's start getting together and building these conversations, having these uncomfortable conversations to get to the goal. The problem is we're too busy pointing fingers. Let's hear each other out. Let's, like I said earlier, let's come to the table without the daggers. Let's get this thing done, man, as a whole, so we can build families. In order to build families, because we don't have to get our community to start understanding we need each other to build a family. We need the mom and dad at home to build a family. So we need the grandma. That's the problem, man. That's a whole nother one. We'll get into that. But that's what I want to end with. I'm glad I ended with that. Man, we can next episode. That's what it could be about, man. Absolutely. Man, we gonna pick up right here, cause we gonna pick. So this ain't the end. This is the ending right now. But we gonna pick right back up on where I just left off at, man. Wow.
Right, lead your lineage is omnipresent. We never.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? This energy lives forever. So family, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. You want to add something? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe,
you tell them,
and share.
You got it.
Share it on Facebook. Share it on Instagram. Share it on fan base. shared on every platform. If you got a platform that you got, share it on the platform that you got. Man, for real. Show it to the person you sitting next to. This is
hey, it's summertime too. Y'all about to have a family reunion.
Tag grandma. Play this at the family reunion.
Fire up the grill, son. Turn on Lead Your Lineage podcast. Fire up that grill. Turn on Lead Your Lineage podcast. Have these conversations, y'all. Support it.
Make sure they like and subscribe.
Absolutely.
Y'all get out your phones while y'all watching.
Each one,
like,
each
subscribe.
one. Teach one. So once again, family, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. And as we always love to say, lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Love you, cuz.
Love you too, man. Love you too, man.
Good cuz, man.
I do something
Right?
extra
Hey,
for entertainment purposes.
Hey,
I love you, guys.
I know you do, man. I know that ain't even you.
Yeah.
Cuz lovable, man. Cuz always love. Hey, what?